Well, the gang's all here, so it's time to get a roll on. Well, put your roll on in the morning. We're going to get started. Up! Come on. Broadcasting live from beautiful 49-degree downtown Cleveland. It's station WDWL TV, home of not one, but two stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And once again tonight, I am your host, like every night, the Grumpy Old Man. And we have another appearance from the what do you call him? The animal himself, the Grumpy Jackalope. Oh, Jesus. And the show is brought to you by Grumpy Vulture Productions. No bow. Goddamn bird. So, how is everybody doing? I myself am in a very, we'll say, a depressed mood. I got some bad news today. Not health-wise. Well, my doctor doubled my goddamn milligrams on my fucking cholesterol medicine, but that wasn't the bad news. As I was checking out at Mark's, my little wonderful cutie cashier informed me today's her last day. She's moving on. And you know, I almost didn't go to the store today. I said, "Where are you going?" Gigantic eaglet. I was like, oh my God. In order for me to visit you, I have to go to gigantic eaglet? I said, that's like cruel and unusual punishment. Of all stores, of all places. Now, I can't fault her because what she's going to be making at Gigantic Eaglet versus Mark's is quite substantial. Plus, she'll be in the union. She'll get health care. But of all stores, Gigantic Eaglet. I hate that store. And then I asked her, I said, which one? The one at Warren Village or the one at 117th? She said the one at 117th. I said, oh, Jesus, I hate that store the most. That big goddamn giga store that they built that you can't find anything half the time. And you could actually get lost in that store. Oh, Kathy, come on. I would be doing a headstand right now if I got the title. I haven't even heard back from the goddamn attorney on the email I sent. Oh, you'll know the day I get the title for that car. Oh. And then, my goddamn primary care doctor goes, all the blood work you've had, your cholesterol medication isn't really working. So I'm going to double the dosage. I was like, oh, wonderful. Anybody, Kathy, that I talk to that works for Giant Eagle is really well satisfied with their job. I got a buddy that, a matter of fact, he just retired. He started stocking at Giant Eagle when he was 16. He just retired a couple months ago and was at the same store for, 50 years? He said there was no way he would ever even entertain the thought of going somewhere else. I mean, in a way I'm glad for her because Marks don't pay shit. They work the kids to death. And, it's a good move for her. It's full-time employment, not like, Marks. It's part-time. So I told her, I said, in a way I'm very happy for you. But I said, you're breaking my heart. Yeah, so did my buddy. He started stocking shelves when he was 16, and when he was 18 and graduated, he wanted to remain working, but he also wanted to go to college, so he went to Tri-C, part-time. They worked the hours out for him, and when he got his degree, he asked if he could come on full time, and they said, well, yeah, and same thing. He worked like 50 years in the produce department and loved it. Matter of fact, after he retired, he asked if he could come back part-time because he hated retirement. People that work at Giant Eagle, even though, they ran everybody out of town. They found a way to run, we had Tops, we had Pick and Pay, we had Fisher Foods, we had Tops. They ran everybody out of town. And then, of course, once you run everybody out of town, it's the old supply and demand. We got the supply, and we're going to demand the price. They are so goddamn expensive. They're almost as expensive as Heinen's. I hate them. But people that work there, they're loyal. Hey, TV's here. I mean, like my buddy. He never thought of ever working anywhere else. And I've known other people that worked for Giant Eagle and they loved the place. They got treated well. It's one of those rare companies that I guess if you like working there, you can stay there for life. So, Ronbo, how did trivia turn out? And while you're getting ready to answer, salute. Oh, God, that stuff, oh, it don't get no better. But things are almost back to normal. I'm not going to say 100% yet because the last time we thought things were back to normal, eighth, holy Christ. They must have thrown some real sidewinder questions at you guys. You know, speaking, I'm going to back up here. Today, while watching I am going to have to watch some of your streams so I could figure out an intro. Matter of fact, I've been thinking of changing mine because it's been the same for so many years. I'm starting to get bored with it. I need some different music. I have something in mind. I have to experiment with it. It's kind of a different format. I got to play with it a little bit. I was watching. It was hilarious. You couldn't have timed it better if you tried. I was watching my favorite Judge O'Donnell, and he was getting ready to sentence this guy to about 20 years. And he said, he asked, does anybody have anything to say before I pronounce sentence, And the prosecutor gave a little spiel, and the defense gave a little spiel, and he says, all right, time to pronounce sentence. And when he went just as he went to pronounce sentence, a church bell started to toll. Ding, ding, ding. It went the whole sentencing. I was like, the only way that he could have planned that is if he would have been on the phone with a church and said, all right, I'm getting ready to sentence. Hit the bell. And it went almost until the end of sentencing. It was unbelievable. Talk about timing. I'll have to kick that around, TV. I might change the wording a little bit. But I like it. I'm gonna play with it over the weekend. Because I've got to play with my possible intro change at the same time. So we also need some kind of music. I'll kick it around. Now, this was a news story that literally went nationwide. And Kathy would remember it because basically, she's got the Ohio connection. This was June 3rd of 2024. And it was a video last night. I watch my interrogation videos and investigation videos, and I almost skipped over this one because it said 2 people stabbed in parking lot. Because when people rerun previous videos, they have to change the titles. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, screw it. And then for some reason I clicked on it. And thank God I did. Because this was the stabbing in the Giant Eagle parking lot in North Olmsted when that mental case killed that 3-year-old and stabbed his mother. You should remember that, Kathy. My buddy up in Massachusetts called me and he went, you won't believe the news I saw. I said, Giant Eagle, North Olmsted, right? Yep. Does that kind of ring a bell, Kathy? I wish I would have paid more attention to the YouTube channel because it was unbelievable. They had store security video, and they had video from just about every body cam of every police officer. And, of course, they fogged out the poor little kid when they were working on him. But the amazing thing is, first of all, this goofy mental case had been locked up in North Olmsted's jail for some warrant. And then she got released. And she was basically like living off the street. She was out for like 2 or 3 days. And she had all of her possessions in a shopping cart. And she was back by the get-go, which is behind. Now, you talk about everybody dropping the ball. They have her on camera at the get-go, pulling a 12-inch fucking butcher knife out of her backpack, walking around the front of the store, and walking in the store with this butcher knife and point up, not trying to hide it. She was swinging it. She walked through that whole goddamn store, and nobody said a word. Now, loss prevention must have been in their room sleeping to watch this woman walking up and down the aisles of the store swinging a goddamn 12-inch butcher knife. Employees didn't do anything. Customers didn't do anything. She walked through that whole store because they showed all of the security video. Then she went up to the front. There was a front counter, the other side of the cash registers. For some reason, she didn't like this woman with this 3-year-old. They didn't know anybody. And it shows the woman leaving the store with her kid in the cart, and about 20 feet behind her, this woman's walking through the parking lot. As the woman is loading the groceries in the back of her SUV, here comes the psycho. She stabs the kid twice. The kid screams. The mother immediately dumps the cart to prevent her from stabbing her child. And then the idiot stabs her in the shoulder and then walks down the parking lot towards Lorraine Avenue, swinging the knife. At this point, there were several people on 911 following her, giving a second by second, and it just so happened there was a police car sitting at the traffic light down the street. He pulls in the driveway, jumps out, gets her at gunpoint. She drops the knife, lays down. They arrest her. She never said a word. Many people came to the aid of her and her son, but matter of fact, Giant Eagle employees, somebody had yelled in the store that someone got stabbed in the parking lot. A couple of Giant Eagle employees ran out with first aid stuff and gloves And there was I can't remember, the woman was a retired nurse. She started working on the kid right away. And then it just so happened that there was a pediatric nurse from Rainbow that saw it. And, so people were working on him right away. But he was bleeding out something fierce. But how this woman can walk through that store, and she was in the store at least 20 minutes, just swinging the knife, walking up and down the aisles, and no one did a damn thing. They interviewed customers and they said, yeah, we saw her. We didn't think much of it. What? You got a 12-inch goddamn butcher knife in your hand and you're walking through the store swinging it. I didn't think much of it. Must be a daily occurrence. Somebody walks through the store with a butcher knife. No one did anything. And how loss prevention can sit there and look at them monitors and see this woman walking through the store with a 12-inch butcher knife and not do anything. Matter of fact, she walked past two employees that were chatting at the end of an aisle, and neither one of them, and they looked at her, and she's swinging it like, ho, 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 I'm gonna stick someone in the store. 20 minutes. Walking up and down the aisles with a goddamn butcher knife in her hand. And no one did a damn thing. And that all could have prevented if somebody would have called 911 and say, hey, I'm in Giant Eagle and there's a woman walking around with a butcher knife. It was about an hour worth of video. They had all the video from Giant Eagle. Her back at get-go when she pulled the butcher knife out of her backpack, walking around the store, going in the entrance. They showed it all. Not to mention, after, the stabbing, they had every cop's body cam. Because as soon as they found out her name, almost every goddamn cop said, Jesus, she's a mental case. She should have been locked up. And had one person inside that store called 911, all of that could have been prevented. And no one did a thing. They showed her walking down the aisle and customers going, All it would have taken is one phone call. One stinking phone call. And no one did anything. what are people thinking? Did they think maybe this was like America's Funniest Home Videos? Not one person, from store security to customers to employees, who watched her walk around that store. But boy, I'll tell you what, after it happened in the parking lot, their call center got flooded with 911 calls. And the guy that was doing the narration, I think it was Stranger Stories. I for some reason, I think it was Stranger Stories. Even he said several times, had one person called 911 when she was in that store. And to this day, she will not say why she picked those two out. She didn't know them. Was just another customer shopping in the store. For some reason, she just picked them two out, and unfortunately, and I'll tell you what, it was sad, because they were working on him, and they were attempting to work on the mother, and she kept saying, the hell with me, don't worry about me, how's my son, is he breathing? She must have said that 300 times. Is he breathing? Is he breathing? Somebody tell me, is he breathing? And everybody kept saying, they're working on him, they're working on him. She actually saw them giving him CPR, and she kept saying, is he breathing? Is he breathing? Somebody tell me. They ended up putting him in one ambulance and her in another, and that's all she said on the way to the hospital. Unfortunately, he was DOA. Kathy, North Olmsted had her locked up for 3 or 4 days. They let her out. She was out for 2 days. And she did this. And they knew she was mental. And why they couldn't get some sort of mental hold on her. And all the people that were in the parking lot said, she just nonchalantly walked out in the parking lot and walked over and went, "Rrr, rrr, rrr, rrr," and then just sauntered off like it was an everyday thing. And when she was almost at the street, that's when the officer pulled in and pulled his gun, and she just dropped the knife and laid down, waited to be handcuffed. And then when it went to trial, she tried to pull the old insanity defense. They weren't buying that. She got convicted on all charges, and big deal, she got life without parole. She's better off. Got a nice warm place to sleep, clean laundry, 3 squares. But watching those security videos and her walking past people and them looking at her, And nobody did a thing. Oh, in court, they had a list of, everything under the sun. But, everybody's on their goddamn cell phone nowadays. You mean to tell me somebody couldn't go, hey, there's a woman walking around here with a butcher knife. Let me call you back. What does it take to dial 911? Hello, please? Yeah, there's a woman at Giant Eagle walking around with a butcher knife. But then the dispatchers ask so many asinine questions. Male or female? Female. How big's the knife? Big. Black or white? Black. Describe her. Big, fat, and ugly. With a butcher knife. Can you get close to her? No. What's she wearing? Big, fat, frumpy clothes. What else do you need? How many people are walking around with a butcher knife? Send some police. I'll tell you, I know 911 dispatchers have a tough job. I would not want that job. But who on God's green earth came up with some of these asinine questions that they ask? Jesus Christ. I got somebody here that got stabbed. Address 356 West Street. Blue house. Red door. Click. That's all I need. What color are the shoelaces in her shoes? One green, one blue. Okay. What kind of tennis shoes is she wearing? Nikes. Okay. Does she have a certain hairstyle? Not really. Okay. Do you know who the manufacturer is of the butcher knife? That's about the stupid questions they ask. Do you know where she bought the butcher knife? No. Can you ask her? I ain't getting fucking close to her. It's a 12-inch butcher knife. What color is it? Silver with a black handle. It's a butcher knife. Don't you know what a butcher knife is? Don't you have one of them blocks in your kitchen with the assorted knives? It's the biggest fucking one. And she's walking through the aisle swinging it like she's dancing on Dancing with the Stars. I listen, because in the interrogation videos, a lot of time they play the 911 call. And I, if it wasn't that I paid that much money for the TV, I would be throwing something at the TV, hearing these dispatchers ask these stupid, asinine questions. Now, in an active shooting scene, okay, I can understand that. But when somebody said, someone stabbed, they're laying on the sidewalk. Is the person still there? No, he ran down the street. Send an ambulance. Is the person breathing? No. Can you render CPR? No. That's what we have paramedics for. Especially in this day and age when 80% of the houses on streets have Ring doorbell cameras. There's goddamn CCTV TV cameras everywhere. And ask some of them asinine questions. What's the address of 3456? How big are the numbers on the house? 3-inch, 4-inch? Are they reflective? That's about the questions that they ask. Are the address numbers on the house, on the door, little placard on the front lawn? You can't miss it. There's a person bleeding laying on the sidewalk in front of the house. There ain't too many of them around. Like I say, I wouldn't want their job. But whoever wrote them scripts must not have gotten any farther than first grade. And they all ask the same stupid ass questions. And if there's any 911 dispatchers listening, sorry, personal opinion. Ugh. I bought 2 more frickin' half gallons of that shit. No, quarts, pardon me. As Annie was bagging them, she went, still? I says, you haven't left yet. I can still smack you. And I told her, no, I wouldn't do that. And then I was really sad. And they closed the register and told her to go on break. And I was getting ready to leave, and she went, come here. And she gave me a big hug. Said, I'm going to miss you. I said, well, let me know which one of the gigantic eaglets you're going to work at. Give me your schedule, and I'll come visit sometime. As much as I hate that store. Although I do have to go to Giant Eaglet. I need to get a can of Spotted Dick. Sounds like something that you would need to take antibiotics for. Spotted Dick. Who the hell came up with that name for a dinner pudding? I mean, it is quite tasty. I totally enjoyed it. But couldn't they have called it something else? Like sponge cake pudding or something? Spotted Dick. You had a recipe for Spotted Dick? Oh, Oh, man, I bet you the family ribbed you on that one. I could see everybody sitting around at the Thanksgiving table. Hey, you know what? Kathy's got a recipe for spotted dick. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was very tasty. I just couldn't get past the name. I mean, right next to it on the shelf at Gigantic Eaglet was plum pudding. I like that too. As a matter of fact, when I saw the can, I really thought somebody was fucking with us. You know, I looked at the can and went, "Oh, look what somebody did here." And I took that can away. I was like, I must have had 20 cans off the shelf. And then the clerk came down the aisle and went, "Hey, put them back." Oh, okay. I showed him a can. I said, he goes, "Yeah, I know. Put it back on the shelf." I'm I'm going I'm going to go over the weekend. As much as I hate going in that store, because I'm going to take a can of that and show it to my pain management doctor next week. Hey, look what I have. Spotted dick. And then he'll be like, "Yeah, you fuck with that label. I know. You photoshopped it." No, this is a real English pudding. It's an English dessert. Sounds like something that you need to take antibiotics for, though, really. What do you got in the cart there, buddy? Spotted dick. Oh, get away from me. It might be contagious. Look, I have spotted dick. There's got to be an explanation behind the name of that. Sounds like some 16th century venereal disease that they named a pudding after. I'm trying to think what it had in it. Does it have like raisins or something in it? There's got to be a reason why they call it spotted. You know, it's been so long since I had it. Remember back in the 60s, early 70s, when the googly eyes, you could get a decal. It was like the eyes from Ratfink, but it was just the eyeballs. And I remember everybody in high school had a decal of the Ratfink Google eyes. But you gotta order them off of Temu. Was I supposed to send you them? I think I was supposed to send you them. Because I'll send you the ones that go on the windshield, and then I'll send you the ones that mount in the fog lamps. The ones in the fog lamps are cool because they actually move around, and you can change color of them. You can have red eyes moving around, blue eyes, green eyes. All right, I'm going to have to go on Temu in the morning and find the ones that go in the back window that light up, or in the front window, whichever window you want to put them in. And then I'll find you the ones that go in the fog lamps that are real eyeballs that move around. They look from side to side. They look up. They look down. That would be something cool. Look in your rearview mirror and go, holy shit, the car's looking at me. You know, I would think possibly on eBay, you could maybe come up with the rat thing, googly eyes. I remember back in the day, everybody had the decal on their car. It was like a bumper sticker. You peeled it off, smack, and it was just the eyes from Ratfink. God, they got all kinds of shit nowadays. You know, there's companies making the old STP stickers again. Who nowadays hears about STP? Nobody. I haven't seen an STP commercial in 40 years. Somebody's making the decals again. Oh, I've got to tell you, that pork loin, oh my God, it turned out perfect. I put it in the oven, 375 like it said, for 30 to 35 minutes. I kind of lost track of timing because I didn't set my timer. And it was about 38 minutes. I pull it out of the oven. I cut it in half. And perfect. Oh, was it tender and juicy and delicious. Because it was all pre-marinated. And this one was wrapped in applewood smoked bacon. And oh my God, was it out of this world. Something is... What the hell? Something's sticking me in the back. Nothing in my jacket. All of a sudden, it was like somebody... Yeah, TV, I've got about 47 goddamn cameras. You'd think I would be. And back in the day, in the 70s, I was a photojournalist. And I got more goddamn cameras than China's got rice. And you think I'd take a picture of anything nowadays? Nope. Christ, I got like 6 DSLR cameras. Although the best one, the one I have more fun with, I literally have a camera that takes pictures on floppy disks. And I have a case of these. It's a Sony Mavica. And this is the film. I get 12 pictures to a disc. Kids nowadays are amazed. They're like, what the hell is that? It's a floppy disk. What the hell's a floppy disk? Gargle it. And I'll tell you what, that camera takes amazing pictures. But that's the film right there. A good old floppy disk. And I have several disc readers. I wish I could find, of course, I would like to install an internal disc reader in one of my computers like we used to have. Remember computers, every computer had a frickin' floppy disk reader in it. I've been on eBay looking for floppy disk readers. I can find the external. I have 3 of them. I don't need an external. I want to stick one in one of my computers. And I can't find one. I caught the news just before airtime. So far, out of 88 counties, 18 are infected with this new spotted lantern fly. It looks like a stink bug. It's called a spotted lantern fly, and they are saying that this fly could just about decimate Ohio's wine production. And so far, they've spotted these bugs in 18 out of 88 counties. I was like, if we don't have enough bullshit going on, now we got some fly invading. Although I could see my sister and brother-in-law, oh my God, our orchard, oh! They're probably out there right now with magnifying glasses looking over all their goddamn grape plants. They're out in their vineyard with bug spray. You see one? No. Raisins. I knew it had something in it. That's what caused the spots, huh? The raisins. Good stuff, though. If it wasn't so expensive, I mean, the can ain't that big. You know, it's enough for one person. I tried it just for the can. Oh, Ohio's got a lot of vineyards. Believe it or not, we're a pretty good wine producing state. My brother-in-law lives somewhere. Bumfuck Egypt. He's got a whole vineyard. He makes his own wine. Yeah, one of the best kept secrets, Ohio wine country. Yeah, I think he's allowed to make 50 gallons. I think that's what the state told him. Yeah, another good kept secret. Tennessee vineyards. You don't think of vineyards when you think of Tennessee. Same thing in Ohio. You don't think of. But I'll tell you what, we produce quite a bit of wine in Ohio. It's all small. I mean, it's not like Mogan David, you know, or Manischewitz. But yeah, my brother-in-law's got, acres. I don't know what kind of grapes he grows, but I know he makes his own wine. But he's limited to, like, I think 50 gallons. And that's called personal use. He can't sell it. So him and my sister lay underneath the barrel, you know. Yeah, good old Boone's Farm, Strawberry Hill. And thank you for your support. I miss them two old guys. You never saw them drinking their own product, but they always had a bottle and a couple of glasses. No, TV, I can't. There is one. I like. I just went blank. I just went fucking blank. It's the wine that they make from frozen grapes. Ice wine. That's the only one I like. I don't. No, you put a glass of wine in front of me, it'll sit there. Ice wine, I love it. But the shit's like $60 a bottle. And I'm cheap. Yeah, in Tennessee, you had the rolling vineyards. And then once you get to a forest, then you had the moonshine. And it's like 10 miles back into the forest, hidden away. Although I have noticed that you can go into the liquor store and buy moonshine. Which kind of kills it for the moonshiners making the shit illegal, you know. But yeah, I've seen moonshine in the state store, liquor store, package store. It's got more kinds of names. I remember, many years ago, my buddy's brother brought some shine up from way back in the hills. Typically it was in a mason jar. And I opened the lid and took one sniff, and I was like, holy shit, this stuff is aviation fuel. Well, I have heard that many times, Kathy. The legal shit ain't the real shit. It's got to be made way back in the woods. Way back. And it's got to be in a real mason jar. Oh, I'll tell you what. I took one drink of that stuff. Holy Christ, how could anybody drink that? Yeah, my buddy's brother, I don't know how he acquired it, but he told me it was from one of them stills way back in the woods. Putting vodka in coffee is a waste of good vodka. I'd rather put mine in a Bloody Mary. My drink of choice. I used to be hooked on them. Oh, man. Every time I think of a moonshine still, I think of ding 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 ding. For some reason that comes to mind. Ring ding 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 ding. I think of a still, and the Orange Blossom Special comes to mind. And I like my Bloody Marys with horseradish. Horseradish and a couple of dashes of bitters. And hold the underbrush. Don't go sticking all kinds of vegetables in my Bloody Mary. God, I'll never forget the one restaurant we were at. I ordered a Bloody Mary. It looked like the girl put the whole goddamn stalk of celery in there. I was like, Jesus Christ, get this shit out. You're ruining a good drink. And they got to be green olives. And you know what? Every now and then I'll put cocktail onions in. Nothing better than taking a bite of a nice sour cocktail onion and then a sip of Bloody Mary. Oh, yeah, goddamn waitress come out. She put that glass down in front of me, and it was like a whole celery. I'm like, what is this shit? I didn't order a salad. I ordered a goddamn drink. I don't know who the hell came up with the idea of putting a whole goddamn celery in. By the time I got the celery out, there was no frickin' Bloody Mary in the glass. Hey! I'll never forget the time I told her, I said, make sure that the bartender puts horseradish in there. Goddamn bartender come over the table. He goes, what are you, a mixologist? Don't you have any horseradish? Well, that ruins a good Bloody Mary. Put a spoon in mine. Don't give me this shit. It ruins a Bloody Mary, asshole. You got some bitters back there? Yeah. Put a few dashes of them in, too. And a couple of cocktail onions. And a couple of big olives. Are you a mixologist? Yeah. When it comes to Bloody Mary? Yeah. I wish this was a Bloody Mary. I don't dare think of drinking any alcohol until this. Yeah, the old antibiotics are working. I'm about 95% there. Although I was the last time, and please, no more kidney stones. Please. I can see when I go see my primary care doctors, that's because your cholesterol is up. Screw you. Yeah, I get this email this morning. Open your My Chart for a new message. I thought maybe it was about my pain management appointment. I am doubling the dosage on your Lipitor because your cholesterol is reading a little high. What do I do with the 60 goddamn tablets I have already? Throw them away? That's a lot of money in that jar. That's what pisses me off. He tells me start taking them right away. I got 60 pills left in this bottle. What? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to flush them down the drain? That's money in there. Not like I can walk in the pharmacy and say, can I trade these in? I like either Smirnoff or Kamchatka. Those are my two favorite vodkas, either Smirnoff or Kamchatka. My buddy uses Grey Goose. Yeah, you want to pay $120 a bottle. I'm cheap. Grey Goose. My vodkas are down on the lower shelves. Matter of fact, you have to get on your hands and knees to find it. Is this it? No, that's not it. That's it. That's it. Blow the dust off it. Talking about Bloody Marys. Oh, I got a taste for one now. And I can't have one. Damn it. God, I used to have Bloody Mary mixed by the gallon. It's either Mr. T's or Mrs. T's or Mr. and Mrs. T's. Green. Because the green not only has Tabasco in it, it has horseradish. But I always buy a bottle of horseradish and I add a little more. And a little more Tabasco and little bitters, cocktail onions, olives. Usually the first one I don't even taste, Well, the glass is empty already. Oh, shit. Gotta go mix another one. Oh, I used to. TV, I would start. Now, people think I was idiot. I would use V8 when I would make my own Bloody Mary mix. I liked V8 juice. Everybody said, no, you start with regular tomato juice. Well, you start with tomato juice, I'll do V8. Because, see, V8 has all them vegetables in it, and I don't have to stick all of them in the glass. There'd be so much Tabasco, so much bitters, so much Worcestershire sauce. I'd mix it in a big pitcher. Put it in the blender. Done. And if I really got dangerous TV, I would use hot V8. Like, everything I like is disappearing. Like, you used to be able to get Tabasco Spam. Can't find it. I can order it. Not on the shelf. Today, I'm looking at the Cheetos crackers, They don't have the Tabasco Cheetos crackers anymore. I asked the guy at the store, I said, you got white cheddar and this and that. What happened to the Tabasco? Oh, they didn't sell. I used to love Cheetos Tabasco flavored crackers. Christ, I'd buy 4 or 5 boxes. I'd eat one on the way home from the grocery store. Can't find them anymore. Can't find Tabasco Spam. Can't find Tabasco Cheeto crackers. What's this younger generation? A bunch of sissies? Nobody likes hot food? I remember you could go to any store and there would be Tabasco flavored Cheeto crackers. No more. I guess when I go to Gigantic Eaglet to get my spotted dick, I'll have to see if maybe they have Cheetos Tabasco flavored crackers. God, I can remember being able to get them at the mom and pop grocery store. Now, nobody got them. And if you ask today, hey, you got any Tabasco flavored Spam? And they look at you like you got three heads. What? Tabasco flavored Spam? Yeah, and they have bacon flavored Spam too. Can't find that. Although, a couple months ago when I went to Dollar Tree, they had teriyaki Spam. Oh, yummy. Teriyaki Spam. Blech. Although I tried something. I love Heinz 57 sauce. I have loved it since I was a kid. It's quite expensive. The last time I was in Dollar Tree, they had hot 57 sauce. Oh, is it delicious. I put some last night on my pork loin. Oh, is it good. I guess I'm going to have to go to Dollar Tree and buy up everything on the shelf. I think the first time I had Heinz 57 sauce, I was like 5 years old. And I'll tell you what, I love the, oh man, I love the hell out of that stuff. When I see it at Dollar Tree for $1.25 a bottle, I buy about a dozen. Because if you go to Gigantic Eaglet, it's like $4.59 for a bottle. Talk about robbery without a gun. But that hot Heinz 57 sauce is killer. My new favorite. I better buy up a shitload of it before it disappears. Oh, it wasn't selling. We don't carry it anymore. What do you mean it wasn't selling? I buy the whole shelf when I'm here. Matter of fact, I'll talk to the manager at Dollar Tree and tell her, can you get me a case? I'll take a case. When it comes in, put my name on it. Grumpy. Yeah, but the name offended people. I remember seeing that. God, there's a food spice called Slap Yo Mama. It's pretty good. It's like if you're making steaks or chops, it's called Slap Yo Mama. It's pretty good stuff. It's hard to find. But see, that's another offensive. People are offended by the name. Matter of fact, the last time I had to order it. Matter of fact, my kid thought I photoshopped the label. I said, it's real spice. Slap Yo Mama. Shit, I put that shit on everything. Eggs, I even put some on my baked potato once. I never read the label to see what it's a mixture of. But it is good shit. But the name is offensive. Slap Yo Mama. Oh, come on. I can't remember where Arkansas, I think the company's in Arkansas. I'm going to have to look it up. Slap Yo Mama. Good cooking spice. Yeah. Yeah, somebody standing in Giant Eagle going, hey, I'm offended by this Slap Yo Mama. That woman had a butcher knife in her hand. Oh, getting back to the Slap Yo Mama. I'm pretty sure the YouTube channel was Stranger Stories. I'll look it up because I'll tell you what, it's amazing to watch that in-store video of her wandering around that store with a butcher knife in her hand and no one doing anything but looking. She got a butcher knife in her hand. Oh, go back to grocery shopping. What the hell were the people in loss prevention doing? Playing dominoes? Well, it looks like a woman with a butcher knife. Oh, it's my turn? Oh, okay. Hey, there's a woman in aisle 12 with a butcher knife. Oh, my turn again? Okay. Oh, she's moved over to aisle 3, toilet paper. Still got that butcher knife. She's harmless. I mean, I'll tell you what, I don't know how they obtained all that video. But it was amazing to watch her wander around the store for 20 minutes, swinging a 12-inch butcher knife, and not one person called 911. Evidently, everyone thought it was a setup. Oh, they're filming a movie. Don't say anything. Smile. Maybe the camera's up there. What were people thinking? I guarantee if she'd have walked through that store with an AK-47, 400 people would have called 911. But no, You can just wander freely through a Giant Eagle grocery store with a 12-inch butcher knife in your hand, and no one questions you or calls 911. Don't question her because you're liable. Oh, ow. No one. What were they doing up in loss prevention? Okay, she's in aisle 5. All right, she's coming down aisle 6. Well, she's not cutting up the toilet paper, so, okay, she's all right. Now she's over in produce. Watch, make sure she don't cut up any tomatoes or anything. Nope, walk right through part. Okay, she's all right. Oh, she's over in at the bakery. Well, she's okay. That had to be what was going on. I could guarantee you, I walk in that store and I take one toothpick and put it in my pocket. There'd be 47 loss prevention people around me. Put that toothpick back. Okay. Somebody opened the container. Well, the walking belly is here. Yeah, you got a time pretty good, buddy. Okay, I bitched enough about Giant Eagle. Just a sad situation, man. And with that, everybody, thanks for being here. Thanks for putting up with me bitching about Giant Eagle. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night, the home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and the Grumpy Jackalope. And that asshole bird. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care. And we will meet again tomorrow night. See ya. And see